In this video, we will go over the basics of the dashboard. The dashboard allows you to view performance and financial information upon opening CenterPoint. The dashboard also provides a quick overview of your business and allows you to access the reports that are generated from the dashboard tiles. Upon opening CenterPoint, the dashboard will automatically appear as you see on the screen. If you do not want the dashboard to appear upon opening, you can go over to where it says Open with Database and uncheck it. This will, going forward, make sure that the dashboard does not appear when you open up CenterPoint. You also have the option of changing a preference. So if we go into File, Preferences, General, and scroll down, Dashboard, Application tab. You can also set the preference here to display on startup, yes or no. You also have the option to save your dashboard tiles to a non-default location. The location that you see displayed here is a default location of where your dashboard tiles are going to be saved. If you would like to change this default location, you can go over here and click this, and this will bring up your folders that are on your PC. You can then select what folder you would like these dashboard tiles to be saved to, and then you would say OK. After you say OK and you have set the preferences to your liking, you can go ahead and press Save. These will then keep these preferences for going forward when you open up CenterPoint in regards to seeing the dashboard or not seeing the dashboard. There are a couple different ways that you can add dashboard tiles inside CenterPoint. So we're going to reopen the dashboard by going into Reporting Tools and Dashboard. You can get your dashboard at any time if you have chosen not to have it display when you open up CenterPoint by going to Reporting Tools and Dashboard. Then you can get the quick overview of the reports that you have selected or the default reports on these tiles to see what the numbers are. If you need to add a tile to the dashboard, you can right-click and click Add or Remove Tiles. This gives you an option of any of our system default, which it says system right here, tiles that we have already set up, or if you've gone in and created a dashboard tile in the past and then removed it, you can then add it back again at a later time. So if we go here, I am just going to show you how this works. So if we click here, these are already default set up. We can say OK. And then your dashboard actually automatically changes to the number of tiles that you need and allocates the space appropriately. If I want to remove tiles and only have a couple that show, I can uncheck all the ones that I do not want to show. And again, the dashboard will then accommodate the size of those tiles and the text. If you have done something in a report and you don't think that the dashboard has shown the new information appropriately, you can right-click and press refresh, which will refresh the report, and that also refreshes the tile. This option right here is how to add a report tile. Will bring you out to our website like this. And this is the then report, this is the document that goes along how to add dashboard tiles in more depth and detail. The other way to add any reports to this dashboard to create a new tile, you can go ahead and right-click and say Add Remove Tiles again. And then if you press New down here, it's going to bring you straight to our report screen. Your tiles are created from reports, so it's bringing you straight to the report screen. I can close this. And then say I want to create a new tile off the report screen. You can do that. If you don't remember to right click and do what we just did in order to get to the report screen, you can also access this from reports, and it brings you straight to this screen right here. If I want to add a new tile, I can go to, we're going to try transaction reports. Let's say we'll do a banking. We'll do a bank register. I do want it for last year and I want it for one company. So this is already filtered for me the way I'd like it to be filtered. I can then say preview, and this is my report. If I want this report to then turn into a tile for the dashboard, I would go up to this icon right here where it says add to dashboard, which it is going to bring me up to this screen here. I'm going to add my dashboard tile. I can keep the name as the bank register, or I can change the name. I can say bank register 2020, so I know it's for the year of 2020. And then up here in the top label, I'm going to say what company this bank register is for. So we're going to say CenterPoint Farm. I can keep this on the left. I can either put it to the right of the tile or I can center it. And then my bottom tile, I'm going to choose the label for what I'm displaying, and this is my choice, or I can leave it blank. But if you go down to this display option, you have 3 ways that you want to display the data on the report tile. Do you want to see your receipts and credits, your checks and payments, or your balances? Each report will give you different options in order to display the total on the report. Some of them have one option, some have multiple, like you can see here. So for this example, I want to see all of my checks and payments. So here, for my title for my bottom, I want to know that this is for checks and payments. And again here, I can keep it to the left, I can put it back to the right, or I can center it. Before I get out of this tile, I also have the option of how I want the format to look. So if I go into Format, Value, I can say, do I want a 2 decimal place to show? Do I want 3 decimal places to show? Do I want no decimal places to show? It is up to me. And then I can say I want to see the currency symbol. So then I will have the $ in front. If you have a report that displays a negative, you can choose how that negative amount shows. You want it to show in parentheses, or would you like to show it with an actual negative sign? I can then say OK. I can then say save. If I want to view that report and see that it did actually go to my dashboard tile, I go to Reporting Tools, Dashboard, and right here is my CenterPoint Farm. This is the amount. I did take away my decimals on this one, and I said I want it to be checks and payments. So we're also going to go over some of the right-click options that you have on that dashboard. So I'm going to close out the report behind us so it's not too confusing. And I'm going to pull my dashboard back up. So on my dashboard, I can right-click. I can open the report this way, just like this, which then it did bring me up my payment journal that I had selected. I can double-click it, and it will also open up the report that I had selected for the dashboard tile. I can right-click and I can edit this if I want to change that it was the labels, the name, if I wanted just to say payments, and then I want that payments to be to the left and the 2021 I want to be to the right. I can do that. As I said before, this particular report, the payments journal, only gives you one option to display the total, which is just the amount. I can also go in here and say I want to see the currency symbol. This one is not a negative, so I'm not going to change those amounts. And I can say OK, and then I can say save. So now my changes have been made. I can also right-click on them and copy my dashboard tile. If I want to copy the dashboard tile, I can then choose that this is my bank register of 2020. I'm going to remove the copy off of it. And for this one, I want to see the balance. Maybe up here I would type in balance, so then I know that there is a difference between these dashboard tiles. I still wanted to say CenterPoint Farm, but this I do want to be removed, and I do not want a label on it at this time. I can go into my format again and say I want to show the currency, and I do want the 2 decimal places for this particular dashboard tile. OK, and then save. Now I have my new dashboard tile here that is showing me the balance of the report that I had copied it from. I see that these two tiles have the same name, so I'm going to right-click on this tile and edit. I want it to say Bank Register 2020 Balance, so I can actually highlight it and on my keyboard press Control C and then go down here and highlight and press Control V. That's a copy and then a paste. And then I'm going to save it. And now this says Bank Register 2020 Balance. Some of the other right-click options are if we right-click on this report here, I can then remove this tile. So there was two ways to remove. We can remove from here, or if we right-click down here and say Add Remove Tiles, I can then select them from this list to then remove if I uncheck. So if I uncheck this one right here, it is going to remove this tile right here. And then, like I said a moment ago, if I right click here, I can say remove, and it removes my tile for me as well. The other right click options are if you right click, on the tiles, if you right click, you can, like we said before, refresh. If you don't think the information is up to date and accurate, this will refresh all of your tiles. You can then also right click and go to properties. This is just telling you the property of the tile. So this is the name of the tile, which is a Bank Register 2021 balance, the custom, which means we created it. It's not a system default. The type is a report tile, because there are different tiles that you can create, the date we created on, and where that tile is going to be saved, like we did in our preferences. So this is where the tile is being saved. So in this dashboard video, we have gone over the preferences, how to add, remove, and refresh our tiles on our dashboard, and how to make sure if we do not want the dashboard to appear upon opening up CenterPoint, how we can change that preference either on this dashboard screen as you see here or under our preferences. We also went over how to add a dashboard tile from our reports screen and what tools we can use in order to add that to the reports screen from the tiles, to the tiles. For more in-depth information on adding different types of dashboard tiles, you can see our document called Dashboards. And like I said a moment ago, to review that, you can actually right-click and say how to add report tiles, and this will give you our document on how to add different types of tiles to the dashboard.